Okay. Oh yeah. Oh got it.
Yay. Technical difficulties, but we got it. Spotlight for myself. Welcome everybody to Raw Comedy. It is the second Saturday of the month, and it is your host, Polite Kitty. Woo!
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 Wow.
Every time, I swear, I have technical difficulties, but I get better every time. So, Raw Comedy is your ridiculously amazing women, but we have opened it up to your women and genderless. So, I love to say that Raw Comedy has evolved to the Raw Dog Comedy. We are ridiculously amazing women who are deliciously amazing women and genderless peeps. So, welcome. I will not be doing a set. I never do a set because you are here to watch these amazing people who you are seeing on the flyer. So, because you're definitely not here to see me, even though you have all this wonderful stuff in the back. So your first up, your comedian for the night is somebody who I absolutely have the pleasure of working with all the time. They are non-binary, so I do use the they for them. They are a poet, a musician, somebody who puts on variety shows and all kinds of other things, but they are also a very funny comedian. So please welcome to the stage your first act of the night, JD Stephans. Woo!
Woo! Hey everyone, I'm JD. So since we're talking so much about gender, I guess I'll talk a little bit about mine. I'm actually gender fluid, which yeah. Yeah, thank you. So I do have both like masculine and feminine as my dominant sides. How they're both dominant for me at different times. However, there's more of a fluidity to it, so it's beyond the binary for me. But those are my two dominant sides. And I will say this. Underneath the clothes and the mask, I have a big, bulging audacity. That's right. I have the audacity of a man. Thank you. And, you know, the two sides war a little bit because the masculine likes to brag. I have quite the audacity. And the feminine is just like, I'm so sorry. Please excuse him. It's really not that big. So I went through a friend breakup recently. Anybody ever go through one of those?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, you know, at first I was like, what happened? And they were like, well, you're too much. And at first I was like apologetic about this. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then, you know, like my next attitude was very much like, well, go find less. You know, like those TikToks. Because TikTok therapy is everything, right? However, then I had to do some self-reflection. I didn't like that. Y'all. It turns out it's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, I was really disappointed about that. Like, I was really into it when it was not me. Right? It's like, it's absolutely them. Oh, it's me. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's be gentle, okay? I'm a delicate flower. Thank you very much. So here's how I kind of figured it out, okay? So when someone says hi in a text or a message, The proper response is nothing. You don't respond to hi. That's ridiculous. That's 2 letters. That's not even effort. But assuming that you do, like, you should say hi. Maybe hello if you're feeling spicy. If your codependency is just off the charts and you're not getting in check, maybe you send a paragraph. I took it to a whole new level, y'all. I would send the soliloquy. Okay. So it's kind of like a paragraph, except it's like 6 or 7 of them all jumbled together at the same time.
Oh.
And the actual definition of a soliloquy is when a character does a speech to itself. But who the hell do I think I'm talking to? My God. And I do this to a lot of my friends. They can attest, yes, this is how JD speaks. And for the longest time, I used to just walk around like an arrogant asshole. Just, brevity, I don't do that. That's for other people. Yeah. Except then it was done to me. No. This is actually quite annoying. The friend that I went through the friend breakup with lasted months of daily soliloquies, okay? Yeah. You want to know how long I lasted? 47 minutes, y'all. By minute 47, I was like, I swear to God, if this goes on for one more minute, I'm going to throw my damn phone. We're not going to make it to minute 48. On a completely unrelated note, I've been having some phone issues. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Just making sure. I can't imagine what could have happened to my phone in the last 24 hours. I threw it. I was ready to buy myself out of my own phone contract. I was like, we'll just pay the penalty. I can't deal like 2 more seconds of this shit. Oh my God. So, and that was really heartbreaking. Not because like, you know, like, okay, yeah, we grew as a person, yay. But like, I had to learn that I was the problem. I was very disappointed. I really thought it wasn't me for once. Like, okay, the first guy that I dated during the pandemic, did I choose him based on the fact that he cooked a decent steak and had his own toilet? Yes, I did. But I thought we had grown since then. I thought I was making better choices in my friendships, at least. Turns out, no, it's still me. I'm still the problem. Anyways, I'm JD. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, wait, stay right there. I'm gonna add myself. Woo! All right, JD, where can they find you on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at JD Stephans, STEPHANS.
And I just want to say you are one delicate flower that has some big dick energy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any shows coming up that you would like to promote?
Yes, I am doing Mental Health Mondays this Monday, and we're having Val on, so everybody should tune in.
Wait, who's Val?
Val, the comedian.
Oh, a Val. Our viewers might not know. That's why I ask. No, Mental Health Mondays is really cool. I've actually listened. It is a very good way to talk about a lot of issues, especially in the comedy world. So if you can, please tune in. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
I'm gonna have Valerie Pascal on. I hate saying people's names wrong. I'm so sorry.
It's Val the comedian. We're just going to leave it at that.
Yes. Thank you so
much. Now that I totally called you out on sorry about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, for me is a new comedian that I have never seen before. She hails from a whole other country. So raw comedy is now an international, which is actually exciting for me. So yeah, let's give it up for the new and comedian Deb. Woo!
Woo!
Thanks, Audrey. Hi, everybody. Very nice to meet you all. So let's start off. I'll share something about myself. I consider myself to be very knowledgeable on the subject of cows. Look, I mean, I didn't go deliberately, researching cows just like that. I just kind of happened to me naturally. It was this one specific encounter that I had with one particular cow. So I'm going to tell you that story. Now, in my religion, cows are kind of considered divine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so if you find a cow near a temple, that cow is having a pretty good life. They're a pretty posh cow. So this cow that I'm talking about, it lives in a temple in Thailand. So it's a pretty, happening cow. Now I was visiting this temple and I was having a really good time, had a roam around, and I was standing peacefully in a corner, very peaceful, having a corn on the cob, and cow was standing somewhere close by, doing its own thing. And we hadn't even made any eye contact yet or anything. It was like a really nice moment. Now, then what happens, out of nowhere, this Asian girl comes along, and I'm not being a racist. Asians are very smart, but there are outliers. This girl wasn't really. She comes along and she decides she needs a selfie with the cow. Now, when I'm saying selfie, it's not a selfie like where you stand and the cow is in the background and the cow doesn't know anything about it. It's not one of those selfies. She really wanted up close, like, vibing with the cow. She's there hugging the cow, catching it by its head and doing whatnot. It's like, and it wasn't a quick moment either. She needed the right angle, right lighting, like the full works. So she went about her business, finally was happy with the selfie and moved along. And all this time, I'm standing there, like pretty stunned as to what's going on. And I guess the cow was also pretty stunned, never had that kind of experience in its life. So was absorbing the whole situation. And this was the very worst moment when we finally did make eye contact. By the look of, the expression that it had on its face, don't think that cow was a hugger, didn't appreciate all the hugging, which is fair enough. But I don't think it's very bright either, because really thought that I was the person doing all this hugging. There is no similarity between that girl and me. Well, this cow zoned in on me and decided to come for it. So it just spun around on its head and started to run right towards me. So this time I'm thinking like, holy cow, and not even in a religious way. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I am now in like a gladiatorial situation without any gladiatorial training. Like that's a one-off condition that a human being can have in this time and age, right? I don't even have the advantages of a gladiator. A gladiator can go like, if we all hang together, mates, we can tackle this, whatever comes out of that gate. I didn't see anybody wanting to hang together with me on this one. And look, seriously, I can't blame them because the cow had its eyes completely on me. In any other situation, I'd be like so grateful. I'd be like, well, thank you for choosing me. But this was like, I could have done with a little less attention. So this cow is coming straight at me and I have no strategy at all. Like I cannot do anything. But then instinctively, as soon as it was kind of close to me, I was like, here, cow, have my corn. Let's be friends. Let's move along. And you would believe it, like, this is a biological fact that they don't teach you in school. And this is what I learned. Cows have short-term memories. Yeah.
Wow.
You would never see someone forget someone that quickly after a shout. Like, I as soon as it got the corn, it forgot that there was anything going on and just kind of rambled off. Yeah, I mean, that was my cow experience. I'm like, a little bit smarter about cows from now on. That particular cow, I'm not very fond of. But look, there are other situations where a cow can actually uplift the scenario. I'll tell you another story, somewhat like, a little bit of my another experience. So generally speaking, I think people kind of, fall into two categories. You could be a nature lover or you could be a city person. So I'm a city person. Like in the peak times, during peak hours, it gets very intimate, but it's a lifestyle choice to have other people's sweat dripping all over you. So I kind of, like that. I'm not into nature. The nature aisle in the grocery store is like, does all my nature needs. I don't need anything more than that. I kind of happy to come home, lay back on my couch and watch the TV, fun things like other people watching nature. I really like to do that. And for example, this one situation that generally, is quite common, horror movies where 5 people get into a car and drive down a very empty forest road to have a party, to a haunted house. And then they get picked off one by one. Really, my favorite kind of, nature viewing, that one is. I mean, I'm not saying nature people are stupid. I don't say that anymore, because this is another thing that happened to me. I found myself in a similar situation one time, and I'll tell you that situation as well. So here I was, like completely unintended, in one of the biggest cities in Australia, which is Melbourne. And I thought if I take a little boat ride to an island just off the coast of Melbourne, which is by itself like a state of Australia, and it even has a capital city. So you think that if they nominate a location as a capital city, people must live there. But Australia is strange, I tell you. Nobody lives in that island off the coast of Melbourne. Like when they put your car on the boat and send you off, that's a bit of a red flag. That, if you needed to, you couldn't come back to the mainland until the next boat arrives. So there I was in that island, similar situation on a forest road driving towards my accommodation. And I had honestly booked myself a farm stay. And this is where I imagined that there would be like, couple of cows, couple of chicken, couple of dogs. That's what farm stays are. This particular, I don't even know where they were hiding the animals. Like there was not an animal to be seen. There was like tall trees all over the place. It's like, by my vocabulary, you call that a forest and not a farm. And this place is pretty close to the South Pole. Like the closest that I have been to the South Pole, it's freezing out there. So I arrive at this cottage, which is stunning, which would be relevant if I was like looking, shopping around for my own place of where I would die, but that's not what I was trying to do. I was like, this was an Airbnb that I had booked, and later on reflection, if you are thinking that when booking an Airbnb, can the host get away with eating me for dinner and nobody will know about it? That's not a good Airbnb to book. But I was right there in that situation. The host had a cottage just beside this cottage. There was nobody else around. So, well, at that point in time, I was thinking, if I can get out of this mess, I'm never going to call nature people stupid again. Well, the host didn't bother me. I mean, the cottage itself had a fireplace, and till about that time, I've only ever seen ornamental fireplaces. This fireplace actually needed wood. Like you needed to put wood and then let the wood at some point in time catch fire, right? So I sat there with my shoes on all night and beside that fireplace thinking, if I can get to Melbourne, I'll call it a lucky day, which I did. So I'll end my story over there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, stay there. Don't go anywhere. I have questions.
Yeah, go for it.
How many cows do you actually see in Australia?
If you're actually out of the cities, there is lots of cows. Like there's lots of pasture kind of places, and you do see a lot of cows. Yeah.
My son is very interested in Australia. He wants to go and move there when he's like 21, just for a year.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I would recommend Sydney or Melbourne.
Okay. And my other question is, because there's this whole rumor, can cows actually go downstairs?
I haven't tried it out, but I have heard that they can't.
That would be an interesting. See, that's another one of those. Maybe we should see if there's cows can go downstairs or not.
I have heard that the joints are not made for going downstairs.
Right? And I'm curious about this. And as a fellow city person, because I am a city person, I want to know these answers to these questions.
I've never seen a cow on a second floor, so I would think that cows can't go up and down floors.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Deb, where can we find you on social media?
I do have an Instagram account. It's Macaudo. I'll put a mess on the chat there. Yeah.
Okay. And I will definitely post that on the chat on this live stream. And do you have any shows coming up that you'd like to promote?
No, I kind of decide on the fly, so nothing at this point. Thanks.
No worries. I definitely relate. Awesome. I love cows. Cows are, I have a lot of them out here, and I live in kind of a rural area. And actually the other day, my neighbors took their horse out to go check their mail. Like, they actually rode their horse.
Wow. To their mail box.
Their mailbox. Wow. And I took pictures of it, and I thought, this is really weird, because I'm such a city person. And I'm all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You live in a pretty rural sounding place, though.
Yeah.
If you have to horse ride yourself to your mailbox.
I know. I mean, you wouldn't think, but so this next person, that your next act coming up, is also somebody I haven't personally worked with on a show, but I have actually seen their material, seen them on other shows, and I'm actually excited to see them actually what I consider in person on a show.
Yeah.
So they have done headlining shows for Second City, which is in Canada, if anybody doesn't know. Done shows for the troops, which is very important since we just celebrated Veterans Day.
That's true.
Yeah, and you can also see them on certain shows on Comedy Central features. So please give it up for your next act, Charisse.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Oh, goody. I'm not gender fluid. Oh, well.
That's okay.
But when I had sex, which has been so long, I can't even tell you, I do remember there being some fluid involved. How's that? All righty. Well, anyway, I just did this show. Anyway, okay, let's continue. All right. And, because I did a very strange show earlier today. And I think that the guy, with the food and the drinks liked me. And he was like 30 years old. And I thought, hey, what's happening? Because, hey, I look really good for my age. How old do you think I am? Time's up. It's interesting. Because they say age is just a number, right? But you know what? Sometimes it's the wrong goddamn number. I am straight. Oh, well. Speaking of cows, now cows do sleep standing up, right? Don't they? I think they really sleep standing up.
Awesome.
Maybe because here they do, maybe because they're afraid they're going to get killed, but maybe not there. I don't know, because they can run more quickly, if you're standing up. Also, I remember I was dating online, and this one guy, it was so cute. Instead of calling himself Sea Biscuit, he called himself Sea Brisket. That was cute. Cute. It's very cute. All righty. Anyhow, yeah, and okay, he gave me a margarita. I don't even drink normally. But boy, is it tasty. So, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I don't really care if people like me anymore. I don't give a shit anymore. So, because I'm finally at an age where I'm just comfortable in my own skin. You know what I mean? Hey, you know why I'm comfortable in my own skin? Because it's loose. I thought being a loose woman was going to be fun. Oh, well. Now, speaking of gender fluidity, a lot of women my age, it's really happening. They're either becoming lesbians, they are, you know, I'm not ready for that yet, but you never know. They're either, or they're getting involved in dog rescue. Those are the choices. Okay. And yeah. Oh, you know what I'm really glad about? I'm really glad. I live in an apartment and I live on the second floor. There's only it's like sixplex. And I'm so happy I don't live on the main floor because, you know, murderers and thieves are terrible things, you know, but this is America. Murderers and thieves aren't going to walk up a flight of stairs. It's America. You know? And, you know, terrorist. Now that's a terrible word, but if you put the word incompetent in front of it, it's not so bad. And I'm just losing my mind. Okay. Anyway, you know, if I were young again, I got to tell you, I would do things so differently. Oh my God. You know what I would do? First thing, I would become a nanny in a wealthy home. You know what I mean? You know, go right in there, use my charms, destroy the marriage. You know, get the bedroom right next to them so I can hear the problem areas. You know what I mean? Because if I'm going to do it, you know, I want to do it right. You know, stop it. Stop it. You know, but you know, I don't know if you know this about men, because there are these straight men, what they don't care really what you look like. They just like variety. But they do. You have to be fertile though. So I was thinking that I should come up with this thing called fertility for women like me. We can sneak it in there. All right. Anyway, okay. You know, I moved recently. Don't mean to brag. I stopped living on the edge. It got like so crowded. It's only an edge. Why do you think people keep pushing you off the edge? They get really edgy on the edge, you know? So forget the edge. You know where I'm spending my time now? On the verge. Yes. You can be on the verge of whatever you want. You know? Let's see. I'm on the verge of cleaning my room, becoming a vegan, and having a boyfriend who listens and isn't gay. Anyway, and you know, here's the thing. Oh, you know, I'm on the verge of that, but okay, here's the thing. When we're on the verge, okay, we have standards on the verge. Like no one's on the verge of becoming a telemarketer, okay? And let's see. And we have big dreams on the verge because we hate getting out of bed. And also, don't stand in our way with our big dreams because you're blocking the TV. And we don't, you know that book by Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now? You know that book? Please ignore me. It feels more like home. It's really nice. We believe in the power of maybe later. Maybe later, you know, not for sure. You know, let's see what I want to just do some more new stuff. Okay. Anyway, well, you know, I'm also a woman of a certain rage. You know, I'm angry because I'm at a point in my life. Hello, I should have a couple of profitable divorces under my belt. What happened? What happened? I have two sisters who are on their third marriage. I have a BA. I wonder who owns the property. I think I do know. Okay. And let's see. Okay. I don't know. All right. You know what I hate too? I hate, remember that saying, love at first sight? Do you remember that, anybody?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen anymore because of the internet. You know what I mean? It's like you can see someone be really attracted to them and then just look them up and shit, she's got no credit. Credit rating is shitty and she's way older than I thought. And there goes that. You know what I mean? Really, because relationships based on little itty bitty lies. You know what I mean? You have to have that at the beginning. You do, or it's not going to work. All righty. Okay. And, you're not going to believe this. Okay. Like times are tough. They are tough. I mean, they just are. I mean, I remember years ago, I bought a bra at the 99-cent store. That's 49 cents a cup. That's less than a cup of coffee, free refills. But now I go in there and everything's like $2, $1.99, $2.99. What's going on? I saw some bananas yesterday and they were bragging that it was 99 cents. They were black bananas. You had to eat them right away. They look like really sad penises. I don't know, they just did. And okay, let's see. Oh, that thing, affirmations, you remember those? Like you walk around, you say really nice, I am rich, I am that. They don't work. You know why they don't work? How can they work? You have to have information. You have to have affirmations that you warm up with first. You can't say I am rich and I look around my apartment. How come my walls haven't been painted in 10 years if I'm so rich? You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. You should have warm up affirmations. Oh, well, forget the rest of it. It doesn't matter. Okay. And no, it was pretty good though. Oh, well, anyway, I used to do warm up affirmations at the 99-cent store. This is me at the 99-cent store. Hello. I am not rich, but trying. I am single, but trying. Do you know what happened though? A can of tuna socked me in the head. Can you believe it? And at first I was upset. And then I realized, you know what? These affirmations are working. Material things are flying towards you. They're out of control. All right. And you just tell me when to stop because I can talk forever. It's really sad. Really, I even talk backwards. Whatever you say is, 2 minutes. Oh, stanim, 2 minutes. Okay, you go. Okay. It's weird. Part of that came because see, I'm a Canadian, Romanian Jewish girl who somehow lost her way and ended up on the show. And we were very repressed in my family. It's really bad. Like all the women, nobody could sneeze fully. Not. You want me to show you the family sneeze? Would you like to see it?
Yes.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's it. We had a family reunion once. We had a candle lit in the middle of the room. We all sneezed at once. It stayed lit. Amazing. Well, you seem really nice. So you should know a little piece of information I learned. Did you know in the last 10 years, 13 people have died? How have they died? Because vending machines have fallen on them. So the next time that treat doesn't come out of the machine, do not kick it and shake it. You leave it alone. Because it would be really terrible at your funeral. No matter what great things you've done with your life, all anyone's going to be able to say about you is, boy, she really must have loved Skittles. It's sad. All right, so should I end on a tragic note? All right, on a tragic note, because I was married. Isn't that tragic? No, I was married. It was pretty tragic. It was a nut. Anyway, he could walk into a room and create colitis just by being there. And that's a gift. That's a gift. He was gifted, And oh yeah, I just wanted to mention that talking about money, I was in a Japanese porno movie. Hey, isn't that what you think when you look at me? Japanese porno movie. I actually really was, and but I played the mother of the girl who got like kind of a sort of like, the guy kind of like felt her up and did other things in the garage. And I said to him, I said, you're hurting her. And I was so proud because I did it in one take. And then I realized, shit, this is a porno movie. Everything's done in one take. It has to be. And then And they had me do laundry, which is crazy because they don't think that they know I mix colors. I can't do laundry. But you know what the thing was, though? I said to the woman, because it was a woman that was directing it, and she spoke a little English. I said to her, I'm not taking my clothes off. And do you know what she said? Did anyone ask you to? That's it for me. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Give it up for the one super wonder, Charisse.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
can they
dude.
find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram. I think it's just Charisse Savarin, if you know how to spell that. And I'm on Facebook too. I'm on, those things, whatever they are.
You actually live in Canada?
No, I live in Los Angeles, but I was born in Canada. I was from Canada. I grew up in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, my parents put me down. They didn't bring me up. They
Oh,
put us down. But it was in Canada.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why. No, I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, cool. And
Yeah.
do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, I do. When are they? I have a show on Saturday, a week today. I can't remember where it is.
You
well.
sound very much like me, where I'm like, just tell me where
I
I'm
don't know where.
supposed to go
Just
today.
tell me where to go. Exactly. And then I have this other show. I think a couple of days later at this other place called JR's in Valencia. And then I don't know. Whatever.
Awesome, but they can.
I'm working on getting paid, like corporate stuff now, really, because
Right.
I want to make some real money,
Right.
not just change. I was a Jewish stripper in a sushi bar. I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that. I have so much material. I used to do an hour.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Those Jewish corporate gigs, though, that's where the money's at. It really
Yeah.
is.
And well, my friend told me too, like to go to churches too. Just send them postcards. No one does postcards anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all
Hmm.
right.
They like your material, you think, the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not have a nice little Jewish girl walk in there? I think it'd be kind of funny.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
true.
All
All right. Thank you, Charisse.
You're welcome.
So, just a real quick note. This show is brought to you by Suitman Productions. You can find this show and many of the other shows that Suitman runs on suitmancomedy.com. You can also find him on YouTube, Suitman Comedy. Just type in the search bar. And I am your host, Polite Kitty. If you search Polite Kitty, you can also find me as well. And I am excited to bring up this next comedian because I have seen this person perform and she is hilarious. Trust me. She has been doing comedy for a long time and recently just quit her job to do comedy full time. So I'm super proud of her. She runs a lot of shows out on the eastern side of Washington State, like I believe near Pasco and like Spokane area. So if you're in that area, hit her up. But otherwise, here is your headliner for the night, Miss Ying.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hello,
Hi.
Audrey, Charisse, JD, and Deb. Yeah. Thank you. So give it up to these girls, these ladies. Yes. And the Facebook people. So Charisse, I wanted to say you have a company. You're talking about older ladies. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I am AARP years old. Get that out of the way.
How old are you? What did you say?
AARP years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So is Jennifer Lopez.
Right. So yeah, because
I'm
you
gonna
didn't
shut
give a
up.
number, so I'm just gonna give a range. That means downhill, right? Going downhill once you hit AARP. Yes, I know. So get that out of the way. And also, I love it. Hey, yesterday is a Veterans Day. Let's give up to veterans. Yes. I'm a legit because my daughter is actually active duty in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I saw this
Great.
is a veterans show, but it's not. It's not. So, she joined the military during pandemic, 2020. I was trying to get her to sign up. She's freaking out. Said, no way, no. It's like, wow, tell me tons of no's. And then I remembered, because at the time she was like going to a community college, but because of their online class, now all of a sudden she quit. I mean, not quit, so like take a pause. So she's not going to school, and her job at the restaurant, they're shut down. So she had nothing to do. I was so worried, like, why not join the military, right? And she didn't like the idea. But then I said, look, I remember she was telling about get her teeth straightened out. Right? I was like, well, I'm not gonna pay for that. So I said, well, you know what, military, free, join, they get your teeth off, you know, everything goes away. And then actually I couldn't believe, she agreed, finally. Took her a few months. I said, all right, you know, she was in second year of college, and you know, our military, you have to pass all the tests, right? You know that, right? Yeah, that's the military, Marine, and the Air Force. Oh my God, those tests were like so hard. And the first, she did the first time, they said that score can only be qualified for the military because she want to be the Air Force. You know, I was like, wow, all right, try it again. So she tried again second time. The second time they told her, now your score qualify, your job line is like IT, computer job. So I was happy, so yeah, go do it. Like, if you want to practice, look, I got all these old computers. It's more like, I was like, I got 1, 2, whoa, I got 9 piled up in there. So you got take them apart, put them together, you know, just get you started. And then she said no. She said no. She's really wanted to be a nurse, which is the medical field. It's the hardest part. You have to hit the highest score. You know, like they have a range thing. So I'm like, man. So that means she's gonna have to take the test again. So this is one thing I learned. Talking about military, American dreams. All American dreams is in your fucking score. Wow, this is, well, it's only you have to know it's American. This is for truth, right? So anyway, so actually she did 3 times, got her into Air Force and got her into the medical field. She wanted the future to get involved, okay? So that's that part. And then got to the basic training. I was like, wow. And they took everybody's phone away. How about these people? No phone. Only weekend, they give you 1 hour of phone so you can text your parents and call your friends. Yeah, I know. It's like, wow, this is, and they're, of course, eat together, same food, and there's the dorms, like the bumper bed, 10 girls in the room. Oh, my daughter. I'm talking my daughter. Like, if you tell me this is more socialist than the Chinese communists, this is a true socialist communist in America, in the military. Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. I've learned so much. So, she made it, okay? Just fast forward. She made it. She graduated. Yes. Last year, I flew all the way to Texas to attend her graduation. And then they sent her back to Spokane, have an Air Force base. So she work here. Wow, it's amazing, you know. So every time I take her out for dinner, lunch, whatever, we got this 10% discount. Wow. The vendor's card, you get 10% discount, everything. She go to Spar. Well, she got 10%, what? Spar, 10%, everything, 10% discount. I had no idea. So give it up to the vet. Give it up to the oh my God. Although she's active duty, but the vet, anyway, so that's amazing. Okay, now a little bit about myself. My name is Ying. I got a lot of last names. I don't want to go over. Vigilan, one of them, because you know I do have a Chinese last name, but my Chinese last name got me into a lot of trouble. Yeah, for quite some time after I got here, I was a graduate student. I came to school here, get my degree. I couldn't figure out why the people just hang up on me phone as soon as I tell them my last name, especially those 800 customer services people, you know, because my name is a Fu, F-U. So like, wow, it took me a while, right? So like, I was dialing 800, right? So like, and then the other line says, okay, hello. So what's your name? I'd be like, F you, click. It just got out. Oh my God.
That's cute.
So I didn't know at the time what F you mean. I had no idea. So one time, I thought, you know what? Maybe it's too fast. I should slow down. So this time I just call 800. Then the cable company customer services pick up phones. I was like, what's your name? I go, F you. It's like, that line says, what? I said, okay. F you. I don't know, man. It's like methodically say fuck you. Okay. So this was amazing. But I think eventually my friend told me what that means. Like, all right, wow, I need to change my last name. But eventually I did it, right? But before I changed my last name, I was like, you know what? Maybe sometimes I could turn things around. So one year it was holiday shopping. At the checkout line, it was a long line. I think I was accident cut the line because they have a gap in there. I saw that was there. So I got in there. So the guy behind me was kind of mad, really upset. And he said, hey, you're cutting the line. The end is back there. I said, fuck you, he said. And I was like, wow, how do you know my name? Thank you. Yeah, fuck you is my name. I was like, wow. So yeah, it's funny. But Fu, actually, be honest, Fu in China is a very rare last name. Yeah, we have some common or dominant last name in China. You all heard Bruce Lee, right? Lee is one.
Yeah.
And Jackie Chen is a dominant. And Vera Wang, the wedding gown lady, Wang. Wang is another one. I think another one.
Oh, Wang. Oh, yeah, I know.
Wang is a dominant, last name in China. So we have 4 of them. So I figure, maybe I'm just Fu. We're just killed off. The Fu family killed off by the Wang village. We go by village. Fu is like we're going extinct like Chinese panda. So that's why we come here. Try to, because my American friend tried to stop me changing last name. He said, no. This is the coolest last name I've ever heard. It's so powerful. Yeah, so powerful. And where do you find that kind of last name? So I was like, if my first name is a week, it would be a good combination. Just imagine if I introduce myself to somebody who says, my name is Lisa, fuck you. Wow, that would be a very cool name, right? But anyway, so, all right, guys, moving on. So I do a Zumba dance. Zumba dance is my favorite activity besides comedy. I do Zumba twice a week. Like each time is 1 hour. If you have met me in person, I think Audra met me. You probably would have never thought that I had a lower back surgery because I was very active. Very athletic kind of thing. Yeah, I had my lower back surgery in 2017, because at that point I already paying like 3-4 years. Finally I told the doctor, all right, I will sign my life away. Go ahead, do the surgery. They've been bugging me. So the surgery is called discectomy. What it was is that they remove 1.5 inch bone at my lumbar between 2 and 3. So they're holding there. So you can put your finger there. The doctor can get something. They're not pressing my nerves. That's what's causing me the pain, right? So anyway, the surgery turned out to be very successful. Yes, very, very successful. I was so excited, And the first, when I got out of the surgery room, the doctor telling me, so okay, after I wake up, right? So okay, no BLT in 6 months. I'm like, BLT, but bacon, lettuce, and tomato is my favorite food. Why no BLT? The doctor said, no. No BLT means no bending, lifting, and the twisting, right? Wow, okay. Yeah. So but that's why I pick up Zumba dance. It's kind of mild, kind of sports and activity can help me heal, because the doctor says same time you cannot sit, because I was an engineer for 20 some years. That's what is causing me the lower back pain. So I said no more sitting in front of the computer. So Anyway, so 5 years later, I'm fast forwarding. I feel so good. I recover so good. I don't feel nothing on my lower back. I didn't feel like I'm missing a piece of bone. You know what I'm saying? I feel wonderful, really. It's not preventing. I was really worried in the beginning. I was like, wow, I can jump. I can do all the BLT I want, you know? So that got me thinking. I'm like, if maybe from the very beginning, when we were baby, we don't need that bone. If they had removed that bone, we cannot tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, if that is the case, okay, we don't need that bone. What other body part that we don't need? And they just happen to be there, right? So I keep thinking, it's like, wow, all of a sudden, yes. And my appendix, my appendix was removed when I was in college. Yeah, surgery. And at the time, the doctor said, you don't need this. Boom, they took it out. And then 10 years ago, I got my tonsil removed. You know, the flap around that thing.
Yeah.
The doctor said, no, because I was kind of snoring a little bit. So they tried nothing. Okay, I'm still snoring. Okay, but that is gone. Like, doctor told me don't need it. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep that numb hook. I'm like, what else I don't need? You know, guess what? It's foreskin. I got that removed. Yeah, foreskin. All right. It's my son. I got him circumcised when he was 5 days old. Thank you to Jewish people, man. But then, okay. But I was still not stopping there. I keep thinking, what else? It's like, how about kidney? We have 2 kidneys, right? So I think if I get rid of 1 kidney, I'm fine. I'm gonna be okay. And then, how about liver? I did a research on Google, said if they cut off 30% of your liver, within 2 years, your liver grow back 100%. You know, I'm like, wow, before, no, now I'm in donation business. So if any of you here need a kidney, just call 1-800-YING kidney, all right? I'll be happy to donate one for you. Yeah, no kidding, all right? Wow, this is amazing. So moving on, speaking of quit my job, thank you, Audrey, to say that. Yes, I did it in April, just to do comedy full time, but my Chinese friend heard it. They were like, wow, they called me and says, Ying, why comedy? You know, I'm like, because I don't want to steal American jobs anymore. You know what I'm saying? I was guilty as charged, you know, like white collar job engineer. So Americans, you can have it now, you know, because so far I've been running shows. I've been doing a lot of comedy shows. The comedy so far paid me like free beer, free dinner. So very non-threatening. Yeah. Some night are good. I got paid $100. So that's good. Very low key, man. Very low key. But another friend actually back in China called me and said, like, okay, Ying, I got it. I understand the American dream. You want to do comedy. Let me ask you, what is your inspiration to comedy? So I was like, my inspiration is a Shirley Temple. Have you guys heard of Shirley Temple?
Yes.
Yeah, Cherie heard it, right? Yeah, thank you. She's the child movie star, right? So Shirley Temple, I watched all her movies, okay? From 3-year-old to 10-year-old, during the 7 years, she made 29 movies. Do you know that? Wow, I know, it was a wow. And I got my first job when I was a 22-year-old. So I was like, watching her movie, thinking about Shirley Temple, like, wow, I'm missing out. I need to catch up with all that child labor. You know what I'm saying? Wow, so I've quit my job. It's still too late. All I'm doing is just catch up with the 3-year-old. You know, like in China, the child labor normally would start at 8 or 9 years old. In India, Debbie, I don't know if from India, they start like 5, 6, but you guys are starting 3. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. I know. So, it's very inspiring. Shirley Temple, all right? Before I quit my job, like I said, I was an engineer, right? So in my field, we speak a lot of jargon, acronyms at my job because I work for government. You know, one time I was on the phone talking to a client because I manage water. So I keep telling him, well, in order to get a permit, you need to talk to BRM, like blah, blah. So like, half hour, this guy coming out. So, hey, what is going on? So like, for half hour, you tell me about BRM. Are you black? I was on the phone like, what that got to do with anything about black? I was like, you got a problem with the Bureau of Land Management? So that's what that means. So anyway, what am I? BRM. But my favorite jargon acronym at my government job is BPJ. BPJ stands for Best Professional Judgment, because that kind of like answer for anything. If anybody asks me, how'd you got that results, right? How'd you make that conclusion? I said, based on my BPJ. Yes, Best Professional Judgment. So I was talking, because you work from home, right? I tell people BPJ a lot. Then my son was at home and he heard it. He said, well, I could do BPJ. He was high school student at the time. I was like, how do you do BPJ? My son says, yeah, I like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I thought about it. I was like, well, not exactly BPJ, but pretty close, right? It's a PPJ, pretty close. Okay, that is good. So last thing I wanna tell you is that recently I learned a new word.
Oh.
This new word is asexual. And I think y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that word? Yeah. But I actually heard that word before I learned it, what that means. But I just assumed asexual means very powerful sexuality. Those alpha male, alpha females, because A is always better than B. A is supposed to be top of the line, right? You got A-list comedian, B-list, you see what I'm saying? Triple A, they're all good. They're just like, these are alpha male, they're just like horny all the time. They fuck a lot, right? That's what I saw. That's what I was assuming. Turns out, I just learned recently, asexual means no sex. Wow. Like, not interested, zero sex. That was a shocker. I was shocked after I learned that, but then I was like, you know what? If that's the case for asexual, what that means, I could borrow this word. I could use it, because I'll tell you, ever since I started menopause, this room is quiet, right? Tell you, Sherry, I told you, ARP and so on. So it's like, I don't want to tell people because it's very negative. If you mention the word menopause, very negative. But because if you say it, people just assume, okay, Ying is not fuckable anymore. That's what underlying that means, But you know what? That's not the case at all, Sherry, if you know what I'm saying, right? Because
Of course.
Yeah, because women going through menopause actually just mean freedom. Yes. Freedom. It's like free birth control, and sometimes I just feel like a man, because I'll just say, yes, please come inside of me. Wow, so liberating. You know what I'm saying? All this freedom. And of course, on the other day, some other days, during menopause, you feel like you tell your partner, no, well, I am taking a menopause right now. So leave me alone, right? Leave me alone. But with this word asexual, I feel like I can just tell people, say, hey, my sexuality going through phases right now. I'm in asexual phase. Yes, right? Very positive and very on to the point. Wow. And I feel like asexual, maybe I should belong to that group, LGBTQ. I don't know if Audra, you mind. Yeah, all of a sudden, not only is not negative, it's a positive word, and I belong to a community, LGBTQ plus A. Wow, this is great. I love that. Yeah. So my name is Ying Vigilan, and I think that's my time. Thank you, everybody.
All right. I just want to say, you know what? I'm also in menopause, and thank you for making it public and making it normal. Because menopause sucks. It really does.
Like I said, now you don't need to say that word. Just say, I'm asexual.
I'm just asexual.
I'm asexual.
My son actually.
Yeah, you can very proud to say it. You said, oh, I'm menopause. You know, let's say.
My son actually made a joke at me one time, and he said, you know what, Mom? He goes, you're in menopause. He goes, because you are menopause. He goes, but I'm a dude. He goes, so I have play. I was like, all right,
cute.
thanks, you 10-year-old jerk. You know?
Cute.
Audrey, you don't look that. You don't
No,
look
you look
that
really
age.
young.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Charisse, I can tell when she said, you know, like maybe.
Thanks.
And because you said it, plus I'm just trying to be honest.
Don't be honest. I can't handle honesty anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna say, okay, you look 30. How about that? You look like
No,
that?
I don't believe you anymore.
Okay.
You lost me, baby. You lost me, baby.
You look 42. How about that?
You
That
lost
sounds
me,
good.
baby.
Okay.
All right.
I'm actually 42, so
Oh, that's too early. If you had started the menopause already, that's pretty early. Yeah.
I had a total hysterectomy because of other medical conditions.
Okay.
I think this is something, again, like you said, it should be normalized. It should be talked about. And I like it, and I'm going to take it. And welcome to the community of asexuality.
That's why I'm talking about it, you know, menopause. If nobody else talking about it, I'm going to talk about it. Yeah.
That's right. Where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, my social media, Facebook, YouTube is same name, Ying Vigilan. If you just kind of find, I think Instagram, you can do Ying Comedy or Ying Vigilan. Both, you will find me, yeah.
That's right. And besides 1-800 donation, fuck you.
Yes, 1-800 Ying Kimmy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
And do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, like I said, I run a weekly show, which is Thursday, then Friday in Spokane, Niagara Falls, I run a monthly show. So it just fall into this month. And also December 10th, actually, I was booked to do a veterans show, on Zoom.
Oh, with Linda Marcus? Linda?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
I entertained the troops overseas.
Oh,
incredible.
Cool.
Yeah, a long time ago.
To
Yeah.
follow you, Charisse. You know,
what?
I'll follow you on social media.
Yeah.
So you're accept. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys have a chance, if you ever come out to Washington, really Pasco, I think it's Grizzly Bear, right?
Yeah, right. You can hit me up. I'll try to get your spot.
Yeah, that's really the place to go. It's very popular just because
very good room. Yeah, very good room. Then you get a
very good room.
Hotel.
So if you're ever out, go definitely check it out. All right. So this has been your raw comedy for the night, your second Saturday of every month. Join us next month. We will have an all new lineup of all new comedians that include women and non-binary people. Again, check us out on Suitman Comedy. Otherwise, we'll see you next month. Bye.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Swar. Good night.
Good night.
Swar.